So there's reports that there's a new strand of the coronavirus. Mainly in the UK, they're reporting this new strand of coronavirus. There's more lockdowns. And it brought to mind, like I've been saying, like I've learned in life, is that there will always be something else. There'll never be an all clear to live your life. In this world, there's always going to be something to worry about. Whether it was the Cold War, whether it was terrorism with 9/11, whether it was anthrax, whatever it could be, you know. And don't wait and don't waste your life waiting for everything in this world to be perfect, because you'll never do anything. Pluto, great to see you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Been thinking about you today. Love to you and your family, man. Hope you're doing good in California. Glad you're out there, living your best life as best you can. Now, look, again, we have to take the necessary precautions because danger is real. There's real risks in the world, and sickness, disease, accidents, But what I've learned, again, is just that there's always going to be something else. So take the precautions, but take the leap of faith. Because if not, what you're going to realize is you're going to be stuck wherever you are the rest of your life. The second thing I want to talk about is the new stimulus. A new stimulus was passed in America, United States of America. Each American's going to get a $600 direct deposit as long as they qualify. Like, I think if you make under 100 grand or so a year, you'll get $600 direct deposit starting next week as I make this video, so right after Christmas 2020. And one of the bigger things is if you got laid off within the past year, mainly due to the coronavirus, but if you just got laid off, you get your regular state unemployment plus an additional $300 federal supplemental check. So as an example, like in New Jersey, I think the unemployment payout per week is like $600 per week max. So that plus $300 a week with I believe it's a week, not a month, from federal subsidy. So you're up to almost $1,000 a week. Now each state in America is different. Like Florida, the max payout is $275 a week. Why is it less in Florida than in New Jersey? Well, there's no state income tax in Florida. So you have less insurance you're paid into the system. So that's something you have to be mindful of if you move to a state with no state income tax. It's an independent person state. It's not a socially oriented state. It's like more independent. You don't pay tax, but everyone's for themselves a little bit more. So that's something you have to be mindful in life as you navigate the system. Everything has pros and cons based on your individual circumstance, right? And how you live life, how you want to move life. And what I've learned being in New Jersey when I was starting out my career and being on unemployment, it's good to have some time off. And it's good to be able to collect on the insurance that you put into the system. And certainly during an emergency like this, get supplemental federal help. But don't get caught in an algorithm where you're out of the workforce too long, because it's hard to get back in. I still get scared that I could get laid off at any time, and I still know at my age 40 I'd have to still get back on the wagon, and it's scary. And that kind of brings me into my final thing. I still think we're in the biggest economic bubble ever. And not that I would tell you to go out and buy gold or buy Bitcoin, even though I saw a real estate agent I watched on YouTube, he bought Bitcoin at $23,000. He bought one Bitcoin for $23,000. Am I mad at him? No, because I've lost more money doing other things. So I'm not going to sit here on my high horse, and I don't know, maybe Bitcoin will go to 100,000. I have no idea. Now, I always tell you guys, I've learned enough in life not to tell people how to invest. I learned the basics of financial freedom, okay, is get a savings account with 6 to 12 months worth of expenses, and that's at least $10,000. And that'll take most people a decade. It took me about a decade. And then pay off your debt, and then do whatever you want and keep a steady flow of income. Pick up some side hustles. Why? because that's financial freedom. If you hit big on an investment, that's a blessing from the Lord, and it's your work, and it's good, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, but most risks fail. So you don't want to get suicidal. You don't want to, like someone messaged me the other day that they're into gambling, and I understand that because investing is very similar. Certainly, you could say buying Bitcoin 23 is just taking a shot. But how do you get away from? You got to separate from the addiction. Any addiction, you got to separate from. Maybe you learn to do it in moderation, but most people don't when you're very toxic with it. So, you'll have to figure that out on your own journey. The other thing that I want to share with you with regards to a bubble economy, and an economy can keep inflating. I don't know we're in a whole nother dimension. Like my man internally was inspired would say, we're in the fifth dimension right now. Okay. And not because Jupiter is meeting Mars, it's because the Federal Reserve got interest rates so low and stimulus is pumping so heavy that what I could tell you guys, even though there's a lot unemployed, even though I know some jobs are never coming back. Technology has taken over. We are not going back, even with a vaccine, in my opinion. I think there will always be jobs for the able body and mind and those willing to work. The saying, good workers are hard to find, has lasted the test of time because it's true. And because it's painful to go to work. Even when you're in a good rhythm, it's scary, it's hurtful, it's all those things, and I think many people, there's a saying that, this person's not scared of work. I think many people are just scared of work. Even if it's not physically demanding, it's mentally just to show up, to answer emails. It's scary. Okay. And what I've seen over the course of definitely the past 10 years, because I've been in the workforce since I was 17, I'm 40 now. Okay. So I've been in the workforce for 23 years. I've had my ups and my downs. And what I've seen in the past 10 years is still opportunity, but what technology did was show companies a dashboard of metrics. Humans are very inefficient. Technology teaches us how to be efficient. Example, your big ass just ate some extra Twizzlers. I did. And you go, I would like to try to walk them off. I wonder how long I have to walk. Well, you look at your smartwatch. It tells you walk 5,000 steps today. You should really walk 5,000 more. And that only burns off about 500 calories. So just looking at your smartwatch or your smartphone, you figured out what most people didn't know in a lifetime. So a company looks at their dashboard. They said, this department gets this many tickets. This department's tied to this amount of revenue. And then they start cutting excess. And those jobs never come back because they realize they can do without. Okay. Like I said, I know I got a lot of viewers, great viewers, and I love them. Even if they hate me, you got to do you. Like I said, I'm a spark plug. You should change me out every 100,000 miles. But while I'm here, I'm going to preach the message that the storage unit is Satan's shed. Why? Because just like a big corporation, once you cut the storage unit, that's never coming back. Okay. And once you cut certain jobs, they're never coming back. Because you realize you can do without them. Once you get rid of your storage unit, you realize that shit that's been in there for 5 years. And every year they inflate the price. Every year that price goes up. People realize the same thing with employees. Every year we gave them a 2% raise. We can do without them. So look, I do think a level of the future is going to be an Andrew Yang vision. Universal basic income. Throw in universal health care because employees not going to be... And there's going to be the cream of the crop workforce working. There's always going to be a need for medical. There's always going to be a need for workers. But it's a shift. And it's a more efficient, lean machine driven by technology, printed money, and FOMO. Okay? Fear of missing out. And that's what keeps people spending their stimulus money on Bitcoin. That's what keeps people spending their money on Robinhood app. And are they wrong? Because they may make money. I don't know. I don't know the future. Okay. I got to tell you guys the basics of financial freedom: savings account, pay off debt, and do whatever you want. Keep a steady flow of income. Pluto, I'm never getting a storage unit. Praise the Lord, says the choir. All I need is a suitcase. Hey man, that's too much. Every day I look, I can say, I can throw out shit in my duffel bag and I'd still be good. My next car, or when I get enough energy to clean out this car, I'm gonna throw some stuff out. And a bank account. Praise the Lord. Yeah, praise the Lord. Good job, Pluto. Howell, great to see you, brother. Great to see you, man. Howell, they got the stimulus pumping out, man. Howell, if you want to share, anyone wants to share Pluto, what will you do with your $600 stimulus? I'm curious. Will you buy Bitcoin? Will you put it in a savings account? Yeah, look, guys, I don't know. Will the vaccine bring us back to normal? I struggle with the concept that we're ever going back to the way it was, because I think time is like a river. You can never touch the same spot twice. You know, like we're getting older. Even as you guys watch me, even if you're in 25, 35, 45, you're getting older. And you know all the old heads, you say, oh, I remember when there was no smartphone and, you know, things were simpler and better. You're getting older. And you're going to say to your, you know, you're going to say soon, oh, I remember when we can go in a restaurant, we never had to wear a mask. Like, I think masks will always be recommended. I don't think they'll be mandated, but I think like you're going to go to the fifth dimension. You say inspirational nomad. I've been to the fifth dimension. I saw like a spiritual revelation. You haven't been to the fifth dimension until you slept in an all-night gas station. Okay. And what I can tell you is I'm in the fifth dimension right now going live on YouTube. I go live every night. Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, stimulus, no stimulus, new strand or no strand. I went live during the coronavirus for every day. Okay. Even with the new strand, I traveled up and down the East Coast twice. Okay. I didn't buy Bitcoin. But I've been saying we're in a bubble for about a year and it keeps going higher. And so what I could tell you is this, I don't want the bubble to break because I don't think there's any blessing in watching the economy break down. And that's what the Federal Reserve realized when the Dow got to 18,000. And even Steve Mnuchin said it yesterday, we were scared we were going to go in another Great Depression. So they decided to print money, back the bond market, and let the bubble grow. Because the opposite of that is, guys, we're all destitute. Okay? And what I can tell you, in 4 weeks, the stock market got cut in half. And if you would have given another 4 weeks, we would have probably been close to zero. Okay? And everyone who says, like, look, we're not going to do socialist program, guys, you saw capitalism get the biggest social bailout ever. Okay? Because that wasn't the free market. That was the Federal Reserve. Okay? So, you know, it's just the world we live in. It's interesting. Let's go back live comments. Kathy, hey, Kathy, great to see you. Agreed. Economy might be hard to get back after the pandemic. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see both sides of it, right? Like again, we went through a pandemic in 1929. Economy came back. We've been through a lot of things in human history. So, you know, again, you know, in Florida, many things are still open. Some people don't wear masks. Most do. So I don't know, you know, I think we go back, but I just think that society is just a little different. You know, that's how change happens. It's a little bit different, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, you know, again, guys, look, they fought a lot of things throughout human history because people didn't want to change. And sometimes they allowed injustices just for the sake of, I want to keep things the same. So I'm just making an observation that no matter what time period you're in, you never go back to normal. There's always a new normal, even before the coronavirus. And that's why I always tell you, live urgently. Because a lot of people are waiting for this imaginary time where everyone gets vaccinated, which we already know everyone's not going to get vaccinated. Unless it's a mandate, and you know that's not going to happen. Unless there's a major outbreak. And so, when do you start living your life? And if there's a new stimulus, when do you really get serious about getting a job? I know me, guys, there was a point in my life where I didn't get serious about getting a job till I was like close to my last unemployment check. So I'm glad they're doing stimulus for the people. Okay, why? Because again, I know we did it for the corporations. So I'm fair, and I understand why we did it for both. I think we should do it for both. I'm just trying to say it's an interesting dynamic. And whether it's Bitcoin, Tesla, index funds, housing, guys, in my opinion, there's no way salaries are raising at the rate of house prices. And I'm not saying house prices should collapse But I'm saying the only way house prices keep going up the way they do is if the Federal Reserve cuts the interest rates to negative and they do some type of like government incentive where they give you a certain amount of credits to buy homes. Because they're not going to make smaller homes unless the government gives them incentives. Apple today said, Apple, the technology company, said they're going to start making electrical cars in 2024. Why? Because the government gave incentives to electric car companies to take us away from fossil fuels. Just like the government gave and still does give fossil fuel companies, oil, gas, etc., they give them subsidies to keep them to go. We give farmers subsidies. The government gives subsidies to institutions they feel can keep the economy afloat. But you have to ask yourself, are we afloat or are we bubblicious? I don't know. Let's go back to live comments. How? I'm getting that extra 300 in unemployment. That's the big one. Like the 600 one time is great. People start getting that starting next week. But what's really a help for those who got laid off during these past 12 months is the extra $300 in unemployment. I think that's per week. That's a huge blessing. Gonna stack that. Yeah, stack that, brother. That's good, Pluto. And a lot of people, not all, but people working in the service industry, like if you work for a car dealer, if you work at Hal worked at a hotel, you worked at Walmart or whatever. If you worked like one of those and got laid off, I knew someone, you're probably going to make close to the same or more money. You're going to make more money than you were when you were working. And that's like, well, do I really want to go back? And I can understand not going back, but that's why we're in an inflated economy. Because what people don't realize is we never had a recession because a lot of people made more money being unemployed than they did when they were employed. So house prices go up, food, car, RVs. And I'm not saying it's wrong because I don't want to stiff to people. I'm just observing that we're in this economy where real estate agents are buying Bitcoin. Okay, a hair salon stylist has a Robinhood app and is buying vaccine companies stocks. Okay, and Joe Biden's getting the vaccine. I thought Joe Biden was dead. I didn't even know he was still alive. Where the fuck Joe Biden been? And then I looked at Trump's feed. He's still talking about the election. I said, damn, that thing broke him mentally, man. Like, he's strong-minded, but he's still complaining about the election. Like, I looked at his Twitter feed. It's like he hasn't stopped complaining about it in like a month. I'm like, man, get some new material. I mean, sometimes people want me to give new stuff. I give them new stuff. I give you travel trailers, give you campgrounds, give you Florida, give you houses. Okay? And what I can tell you is Trump's out of material, man. It's true. Pluto. In the bank is where the 600 is going. Well, I like to see the bank account go up. Got I almost forgot how it was like to go to the shop without masks. Yeah. I think masks may not be mandated, but I think they'll be recommended for years to come. Because again, is everyone going to get the vaccine? No. And you're going to have herd immunity and the vaccine. And then if you have a new strand, then what? I don't know. They say the vaccine supposedly will still fight against the new strand, but no one really knows. It's true. Hal, I am definitely not waiting for the last unemployment check. I hear you, brother. They say on average it takes 4 to 6 months to land a new job. Now, look, if you were going to Walmart, something like that, probably less. Pluto, $5 new stimulus super chat. One day at a time. That's an excellent comment. Life is beautiful. Well, I disagree with that sometimes. Yeah, when things are in order. Well, I agree with that. Yeah. I say when some people tell me that life is beautiful, I see life as I said, I'm blessed, and I want to thank God, man, because I know how fortunate I am. But in my mind, if I'm being honest with you, as I get older, it gets harder to say that, to be honest. But I also don't want to say I'm blessed. I think Pluto put it good when things are in order. But he also put it good one day at a time. Just get another day without a mortgage, another day closer to death, another day in the fifth dimension of living in a parking lot. So what I can tell you is this, guys, show up. Why? Because when in doubt, if you show up, another YouTuber said, I'm going to take off today. Okay? So guys, look, it's scary to go to work. It's scary to go live. But guys, Trump's out of material, so shit. If he can do it, I can do it. Good job. But yeah, Hal, I know it's tough, man. It's 4 to 6 months it takes to find a new job. Now, if you were going to Walmart, something like that, Even Walmart or something like that, it's got to take at least a month or 2 months, because you got to, you apply, then you got to at least come to some type of interview, then you got to do a drug test and a background test. For most companies now, that takes a couple months. So, just remember that. I learned that lesson because I didn't realize I got an internal transfer. It took 5 months. So, I also recommended, I think Jason asked me the other day, he said the same thing you said, Hal, that DoorDash is on a hiring freeze, I guess, in his market. His market's either slow or busy. But I told him, well, check out Napa or AutoZone parts, because a lot of those are like auto repair shops. They have car delivery service. So Napa or AutoZone, usually they're hiring car drivers. Upscale. The prices of real estate is totally out of line with wages. I totally agree, Kathy. Totally. Oh, upscale. I'm sorry. Upscale. Especially in South Florida. I totally agree. Look, South Florida is a bubble economy. It's a bubble or burst. And I'm telling you right now, upscale, you know it. Florida is in a boom. Now, I can understand some of the money, because some of the money is people who have decided, because of the coronavirus, they can relocate and work from anywhere. I might as well work from Florida, especially in the winter, and at least have a second home here. People from up north, they're buying their second home, or they're retiring early, or they're downsizing, or not. They're not downsizing. They're upsizing. Like your name is Upscale, they're upsizing their house. Because there ain't no houses built under 1,000 square foot down here. Anywhere. Not anymore. It's all county regulation. So that's why you got to find an old cottage, because you're like grandfathered in with zoning. Yeah, but upscale, you called it. Look, we're in a bubble, man. But it can keep going up. Good to see you, man. How's your Airbnb, upscale? How? All those apps are oversaturated. Way too many people trying to get in. Thank God I have Instacart. Instacart's another option. Just remember, Instacart, DoorDash, and any job, if you show up consistently, and if you get like the top dasher, if you show up, because I wake up every morning, I check my DoorDash app. And if you wake up early, you can still find, at least in South Florida, you can still find opportunities. And you just do that every morning, and then before you know it, you're a top dasher. That means you get to have a first glance at the calendar and reserve time slots. And then that's, any job is like that. The early worm gets or the early bird gets the worm. Wake up early, start. You're always going to find time. Be diligent, even if you fail. Like someone commented on one of my DoorDash videos who said, I made my first delivery. I totally failed. I'm not going to do it again. It's too painful. And I understand. But I told him, look, just keep doing it. You'll get better. And if you don't get better, fuck it. I mean, let them deactivate you. But life is painful. I don't think people are evil. I think people are scared of work. Not because they're evil, because it's scary. It's painful. And I want to try to retire early because I understand the pain. And I'm blessed. But I don't know, man. What I can tell you is this. That the best stimulus is being as financially independent as possible. It's impossible to be, well, I don't want to say impossible, very tough to never have to have a worry, though. Because even if you have a lot of money, you always worry. There's always going to be something new. Again, you got the new strand of virus. You're always going to have something to worry about. Ryan, bubbles can last years, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, they can last. It could be a whole new economy. So it could be an economy where we just keep doing some type of stimulus. We just keep putting incentives in, backing the bond market, and we just keep inflating. There'll be corrections and stuff, but again, it's a double-edged sword. I'm not saying the Federal Reserve or the federal government's wrong, because what's the alternative? To let the markets tank? Yes, some people will have buying opportunities, but some people won't. The problem is there is a wealth inequality gap. Okay, and times like this, I don't know. Well, look, guys, I don't know. King Stretch, welcome back, brother. You still in Planet Fitness, man? King Stretch coming back strong. Working hard. 2 jobs. I don't know if he quit one. He was in Home Depot and Planet Fitness. Good to see you, brother. Love to you, King Stretch. King Stretch, tell him the process of what it's like to get hired at Planet Fitness and how long did it take you? I'm very interested. How long did it take you from the day you applied? Did you apply online or in person? How long did it take you from the day you applied to the day you actually started working? And then don't forget, like, you start working and then you got to wait another 2 weeks for your first paycheck. So it takes 4 to 6 months to get a job. Then you got to wait another 2 weeks to get paid the first. That's crazy. And then you're usually on like 60-day probation. What a disaster. It's a never-ending world, guys. But there is a wealth inequality gap. That's what I was saying. It's like, but look, I think we're trying to adjust. Florida, the minimum wage in Florida in 4 years is going to be $15 an hour. So if you get universal health care, if you get like the $15 minimum adjusting for inflation, you get some stimulus. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to close the wealth inequality gap because it's not going up as much as the markets or housing. But, it's something. At least it shows they're putting effort into something. But, it's tough. Again, pain is individual. Like if you just lost a lot of money in Bitcoin and now you see that it's all-time high, it doesn't matter what I say or what anyone says or the stimulus is. That's pain that, you have to work through. And that's that FOMO, okay? Fear of missing out, like my man internally with Spire would say. And what I could tell you is this, guys, I'm in the 5th dimension. What's that dimension? That dimension is being in the public too long, man. I feel like I'm in a weird zone, man. I feel like I'm in a twilight zone sometime. I think I gotta get back to some type of normalcy with some privacy, man. I don't know, man. I was walking around South, I felt like I was in a fucking twilight zone, man. I said, what the fuck am I doing, man? It's like everywhere I go, I see people. I'm always in I'm getting a little burnt out, man. I still like the nomad life, but I'm getting burnt out. But there's no affordable housing. I mean, there is affordable housing. I should say that, but the inventories level are low. That's what I said. Upscale. It was nice. Oh, he's talking about the Airbnb. I am back in the RV now. Damn, that was quick. I am parked at Wawa. Well, praise the Lord, says Wawa, the best gas station around. You in the 5th dimension, brother. King, welcome back, brother. Upscout, Sam, Google 100 Caravana Drive, Houston, Texas. All right, I'll Google that. 100. Let's see how to spell that. Caravana Drive, Houston, Texas. What's that, massage parlor? I see it come up on Google Maps. $29999. 30, is that 30 million? Or 30 billion? Some type of huge mansion. I'll show you guys. This is what it is here. Yeah, that's too big for me, man. I don't want that. It's 26,000 square feet. I don't want that, man. I don't care if Grant Cardone going to buy that. I don't want that. Nah, it's too big, man. I just want an RV lot where no one bothers me, man. I don't want stuff, man. Like, I'm not lying to you guys. Look, I want financial independence, and I don't want to. I don't want maintenance. I know when you have a certain amount of money, you can pay for maintenance, but I don't want to project manage. I don't want to be involved. I want as little as possible. I want to get through the next 40 years of my life. If I lived at an average life expectancy, we'll see. And I want to take life one day at a time, like Pluto said, because when I get upset, I got to take life one day at a time. King, Stretch, it takes, here we go. He's talking about Planet Fitness getting hired. It takes a month or two. Everything is a process. King Stretch, smart guy, man. Good to see you, brother. Great to have you back, man. ESP, Laska's in the building. Cold hell. Here she goes. She goes, that's why I had to get a van. I can have some privacy. Now, I remember you saying that in your video, where I don't have to see people. It's a fair thing. The van looks like any other parked in place. Nah, definitely. The NV200, definitely. When I pull the curtains. Nah, I agree with that. Look, that's the value of a van. The mini cargo vans, the NV200s, the Transit Connects. I like them. Now, they don't have a sunroof, and they don't look too inspiring, but they do give you a little extra room. You can't stand up, and they are stealth, and, it's some accommodation. And I know you said in the video, too, for a female to be able to get up and pee and stuff like that, it makes sense. Did you see Element Van Life? He bought that European thing. He's doing a renovation on that and the house. But, that's on him, man. Everyone, I don't want to get upset. But I don't want a van. Now, you can still DoorDash in an MV200 if you had to. I know you say you just did Postmates just to keep your thing active. So it's an option because you can probably get 25 miles per gallon. I won't get a big van until I'm close to 60 and I know I got my retirement secured because I don't want to take away a source of potential revenue if I need to. My biggest fear now, because again, I still see companies laying off, not hiring. Well, I don't want to say that. I mean, I see some hiring. So I don't want to be negative. I mean, I know sometimes I may rear that way, but I don't know. I guess I don't have a fear of missing out. I have a fear of being laid off and got to get back on the workhorse wagon and go back into a new company. I could do it, but just as I get older, I don't want to do it. And that's why I tell you guys, when you're young and you're middle age, keep going and don't stop because I already feel old age coming. And as I get older, I don't want to be on that horse, man. I don't want to be on the horse. I don't want to be on a rat race, man. And every day, like Pluto says, I take life one day at a time. Every day I get through a day, I say, well, I'm a day older. But I also say, I don't waste my days. Every day I try to get to the beach at least, once. I try to say, all right, am I in the environment I want? Am I living my day to the fullest? Because next year there may be a new strand of the coronavirus. There may be a war. There may be, God forbid, some type of personal issue. Every year, it's always something. And so you got to be very careful when you don't play that game. You know what I mean? Look, I know that the high of first becoming a nomad will eventually die out. It will, but enjoy it. Like, I remember I got back in a dating game and I was like a little kid again. And a friend of mine, and we divided because we had a big argument about Trump. And it's a shame, but that, guys, past 4 years been rough, man. Trump, division, man. But look, it's part of it too. I mean, but the bottom line is, look, I remember him saying to me, he goes, I was like all giddy. I came to work all giddy. And he goes, well, what you doing, Sam? I go, well, I'm in a new, I talk about a new Asian MILF I was dating. Okay. And he goes, well, enjoy. He goes, I don't, he goes, but it lasts about 3 weeks to 3 months. After that, even if you guys still like each other, it'll never be like it was in the beginning. And that's how the nomad life is. If you like it, there's some people that don't like it right away. If you like the nomad life, the first 3 weeks are a little bit rocky. After you get past 3 months, you're like, wow, man, this is freedom. There's nothing freer than living in a vehicle in a first world country. However, just like your job, after about 12 months, it's you're tired of it. You may want to do something else. But I always look at what are my options. And right now, unless I can find something that keeps my financial objectives of being free, I only want an RV lot. Well, I don't. Bottom line is, I haven't found anything better. I don't want to go into my rant. I say the same shit, but I gotta say it. What I would tell any nomad out there is nomad as long as you can, physically and mentally. And don't get off the road until you've, well, look, do whatever you want, but make sure that if you get off the road, you found something better for your life goals. Because you're only going to get a chance to be a nomad so many times. For me, I look at it like, once I get off the road, would I go back on the road? I doubt it. I mean, as a part-timer, just about every nomad bought a home base this year. Or their Airbnb, ESP, upscale. But I saw Nomadic Fanatic. Even Bob Wells got property now. I saw a guy Camping Life bought one. Driving and Vibing. Dan and Jen. All the nomads got home bases. And I understand why. Why? Because look, the nomad life is fun and exciting, but it's like it puts a lot of miles on your vehicle and it puts a lot of miles on yourself. And you say to yourself after a while, it's freeing, but I'm tired of seeing psychopaths at the all-night gas station. Or I'm tired of going to the gym to shower and there's a guy or coughing or, I did upgrade. I got I got a different gym membership just to take showers. I got tired of taking showers at Planet Fitness. I just did a 1-year thing with a different gym just to have a private shower, man, just to relax a little bit. Because I'm getting a little bit to the point where I need some more privacy. And, it's something that, no, but enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. That's what I should say. Let's keep going. I'm sorry, I got off track. He goes, what would be the best way to keep it interesting? Well, I think you gave the best advice tonight, one day at a time, man. I think every day you can get through being a nomad, you win. Every day you get through without a mortgage, without a rent, you win. However, there'll come a day where you're willing to pay a price, and if you've saved your money, if you've been diligent, if you create side hustles, you'll realize that it's time. You're still going to be able to meet your goals, but it's time to allocate some money to a level of stability, a sanctuary, and privacy, because you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So the bottom line, my biggest advice to all nomads is keep it simple and keep it moving. Don't go to the camping section in Walmart. Try not to get too comfortable. Even I get too comfortable sometimes. ESP did a great video about it. And enjoy it as long as you can. And try to get through the bad days the same way you get through bad days living in a house, one day at a time. Upscale. Laughing. The other thing I would say about keeping it interesting is, on the weekends, try to travel 60 miles outside of your normal hub. Because as nomads, we have to remind ourselves we live on wheels, because human nature is we build prisons. Not just literally, but psychologically. We're in Stockholm syndrome. And on the weekend, you should push yourself a little bit to go outside your normal 60-mile radius. Upscale, laughing good. You can run after Asian MILFs full speed in that thing. Yeah. I'm glad I got to date me an Asian MILF. I remember like when I was flirting with her and stuff, I was blessed, man. I mean, it ended in a disaster, but I'm glad I got to experience, man. It was good. And I've been blessed, guys. Look, I mean, I know there's some ugly psychopaths out there. They never really got to feel loved or be in a relationship. Now, a little bit's of it overrated because it all ends in a disaster. So what's my advice for the ugly psychopaths that feel like, well, I missed out on life? Well, you're single with no kids. I know a couple people going through divorce. They want to die. Or they're entangled emotionally in some madness and they want to kill someone else. So none of us get everything. I don't have everything I want, okay? None of us get everything we want. However, I do believe we should go after our heart's desires within reason. I know, and I think it takes time. Again, I think the human brain does not develop till 25. You don't know yourself till 35. Problem is, by 35, you're caught up in the rat race. You're caught up with the wrong person. You got kids, maybe. And it's very hard to get out of that algorithm. And the next thing you know, you're buying Bitcoin for $23,000. Now, will Bitcoin go to 80,000? It may. I got no idea. Okay. So, what I want to tell you is relationships are the number one cause of stress. I think above everything else, people want someone to talk to. I met my upscale. Oh no, Coconuts. You in here? I don't know if Coconut's still a member. I met the Coconut lady today. Shout out to her and her daughter. Her daughter was out of state, but I met a Coconut woman, Jordanian. She said her name, but we couldn't pronounce it. She just called me Mama. I said, all right, Mama. So shout out to you if she's watching. She said she stopped watching. I don't know. But I saw her today at the park, man. And she bought a bus, man. They travel in a bus out there. I don't know what they're doing. But shout out to you. I'll probably see her this week or something. Because I always see her around sometimes when I travel. But what were we talking about? I got no idea. Let's continue. King Stretch. Sam, do you think it's better to be a manager making $20 an hour or normal associate making $20 an hour? A manager. Why? Because you control the energy, the attitude, and the environment at a higher level. And once you go manager, you never go back. Okay, like once you take a promotion, you go to the fifth dimension. Your career changes. Now, you may end up being a regional manager. Like if you stay an associate and you never take a promotion, you're going to get caught in the first dimension. The fifth dimension, there's a lot of direct deposits eventually. There's a lot of like, you set the tone. You can be kind to people that come in late. You can also, there'll be times you'll have to be firm. You'll have to strike a balance, but it'll teach you that you can't have people come in all the time late, but at the same time, you have to give people grace, and you have to find a balance as a leader to just set a good tone. And you can do that through trial and error. And remember, if you don't take the manager job, someone else does. And usually the person that does is less qualified than you. And then you're both making the same money, but you don't have control of the environment. So, especially, and you're younger, to my younger and middle-aged people, take the promotion and figure it out later. That's what I tell you. Okay. And you're going to the fifth dimension. Okay. That's where, the money bag, there's dildos flying around, there's Asian MILFs. Guys, it's the VIP room of a club, man. Like, you guys have been sitting, okay, in a psychopath section too long, okay? You know the psychopath section where someone you get upset with, you take them to Judge Judy? I want to take it to the VIP section, okay, where there's a whole nother level of stimulus, okay, and it doesn't involve the Federal Reserve, okay? But to get to that level of stimuli, you have to go past the prison in your mind. And I remember some psychopath said, well, he wasn't a psychopath, but he was a little bit of a psychopath. He was like one of these motivational speakers, little nut job. But he had basically said the number one thing people suffer from is lack of confidence, lack of willingness to assert themselves. And I think that's what it is. I mean, I know there's fear because none of us want extra responsibility, especially if it's the same money. And I empathize with that. But what I've learned is you also don't want to work for someone you don't like. And better you be the prick than the prick be up on you. Okay, that's what I tell you. Fuck that. Upscale. Being a nomad or a vehicle dweller. Plan A, meet your financial goals, God willing. What's plan B? I have no idea what the hell that is. I hear that, brother. Now, look, in the beginning of my nomadic life, I failed a little bit. I took a little bit too much risk. I thought, well, I got a lot extra money. I'm going to try to do some crazy shit with it. But it didn't work out as I planned. However, because I had mitigated my risk in other liabilities, I was able to recover and be fine. So, but there's no way you get through life without taking risks and failing. But what I want to tell you is if you keep your savings account separate from your brokerage account, separate from your investments, if you keep a job and you keep a savings account, even if your side ventures fail, you're never destitute. So even if you don't meet plan A, plan B is, all right, well, I'll go back to a regular life and I'm not destitute. That's what I'll tell you. Damn it, Ryan. You fucking hit the nail on the head, man. I got to take a hydration break. I'm out. Thank you, Ryan. I don't know why I get all worked up like I got to get it all out. Good job, Ryan. Good job, all my members. Upscale, King Stretch, man. Good comments tonight. Pluto, ESP, Hal. Thank you again, Pluto, for that tip. Kathy, I see you. Love to you guys, man. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know, man. A little Monday blues, but we got a short week. I don't know if you guys got off for Christmas and stuff. I think we got off, I think Thursday and Friday. So I may take my own advice and travel a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Not outside of Florida, just around Florida. But it's going to be cold front in Florida. On Christmas, it's going to be like 60 degrees or 55 degrees as a high. That's cold as hell in South Florida. But then it's back to the 70s next week. King Stretch. I think one psychopath has multiple accounts. It's true. And is disliking your videos. It's true. Total psychopath. So, I don't know. But it's a good reminder. I'm actually grateful. Because one is, every day I show up, I overcome that resistance. Two is, it's a good reminder that there's some people out there that you're not in a world filled with angels. There are people out here that I can understand, like coming in once, twice, trying to prove a point, or I said something to make them upset, but they come in consistently. So it shows you like there's some deranged people. The final things it shows you is even deranged people, if they took that same energy, because every day they wait for me to go live just so they can thumbs down, so they could be noticed. If they took that same energy and they applied to 40 jobs, they would be fucking millionaires. So it shows me that they are a piece of shit because they don't want to put work into their life. They got an excuse on why they can't do something. And so it's a human nature evaluation. It's not a generalization because there's still more good people than bad. But there's some people out there that are so emotionally and mentally psychotic that there's nothing you can do. And even let's say you became friends with them again. Let's say you negotiated a truce, a peace treaty. As soon as you would not do what they want, they would revert right back to the same thing. That they would thumbs down you 40 times. They're terrorists. Okay? So, all I can tell you is, look, as long as YouTube is still good for me, I show up. And you got to look at that, everything in your life, whether it's at your job or in life. So I'm not going to let someone that fucks up their own life fuck up my life. I'm not responsible to make them happy. I'm not their father. They think I'm their father. I'm not their father. But do I have compassion on them? Sure, guys. Look, I want to, but I don't. If we all go to heaven, I'm not going to be the guy telling God don't let him in the gates. But I'm going to be like, damn, so don't get him the fuck out of my section. Okay? Because if I don't want to fuck with him on earth, why would I want to fuck with him in heaven or her? Because I had a lot of girl trolls that want to get with me, ugly as fuck. What I can tell you is this. Let it be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? So what I can tell you guys, I got boundaries on earth. I'm going to have boundaries in heaven. Okay? So I don't know. Some people hate me because they think I was talking about their wife. Some people hate me because they want me to be, they want to be my wife. Some people, they're in the fifth dimension. They're transgenders. They got a unicorn hat on, and they're deep throating a dildo while they give me a dislike. They're in the fifth dimension. Okay? So guys, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, what do you say to that? What do you say to someone with a unicorn hat on and they're deep throating a dildo? I can't negotiate. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta give me something to work with. You know what I mean? I can't negotiate with that. Let me take a hydration break. Fucking sick bastards. It's a shithole down here. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a damn shithole. One day at a time, like my man Pluto said, get me upset now. What a bunch of psychopaths. Kathy, do you have any plans for Christmas? I'm gonna be in the fifth dimension. I'm gonna be at the gas station probably. I'll be going live. How about you, Kathy? I spoke to my mom today on WhatsApp. She said, Sam, you're always welcome to come back up north. I said, Ma, I'll see you next fall. I love you. If you need me, I'll come up, but I'm not going up there. One thing I've learned through traveling back and forth, I'm not going to be any happier up there, okay? I know it. I'm going to be happier here. If my mom needed me, if there's a emergency, but I ain't going up there just to look at a Christmas tree. Hell no. Hell no. So my plans are, I'll be at an all-night gas station. I'll go live. 4th straight Christmas living in my car. And, yeah, that's pretty much my plans. Tony. What's up, Tony? Good to see you, man. And you will notice you always get about 40 thumbs down. Well, they keep adding accounts because it used to be like only 20. This damn psychopath, he adds as many, or her, they add as many accounts as they can. Never much more, never much less. Now, there's been more gradually. But I don't care, guys. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's part of the game. I know what I sign up with when I do YouTube. It's the most negative part of YouTube. You share your life publicly, okay? And your friends start to hate you because they think you're talking about their overweight wife. People notice shit in public. ESP, that's why she don't show her face. She Ghostface Killer. I wanted to be Ghostface Killer. But I got so famous, you can't hide. So, I don't know. Everyone hates me. Remember Chris Rock said, everyone hates Chris? Everyone hates Inspirational Moment. It's true. That's all right. As long as it makes sense financially, I don't give a fuck. Tony? Which just proves that it's one person with 40 accounts. Guys, one person brought down the Twin Towers. It only takes one terrorist to cause massive mayhem. So, but that's why it's a good human nature parable. So let's say one radical Muslim creates an act of terror. What happens is now you think all Muslims are terrorists, okay? So what happens is when one psychopath on YouTube, they get all these fake profiles, you think everyone on YouTube is a psychopath. Well, I pretty much do. And so, but that's part of human nature. Like, you know, and you can apply that to anything, okay? You see one extremist in anything, any religion, you see one transgender deep-throating a dildo, and you think all transgenders walk around deep-throating dildos, when most of them you would probably never know. Okay, so we make generalizations, and that's a great observation, because one person can cause a lot of harm. So, like, you thought one president couldn't destroy the country or the world. Guys, thank you, Donald Trump. Guys, you know, we're in a whole new economy, okay? So, what I can tell you guys is one person can leave such a bad taste in your mouth that you generalize most people because it's such pain dealing with them, okay? And I don't know what to say to that. I mean, it's like, again, like, that's human nature. So it's like, sometimes people want me to, like, tell them how to get around life. And I'll tell them, guys, I'm doing like Pluto. I'm taking life one day at a time. I can barely get through a live feed sometimes. Good comments, brother. Good to see you, Tony. Kathy, it's crazy to see your video with 40 thumbs down. Well, YouTube takes them away because they come from the same IP address. But guys, my channel's growing. They're dying. So I don't care. It's like a psychopath that wants to keep playing me in Madden 95. I'm beating their ass. I don't care. You want to keep playing me? Keep playing me. You keep losing, okay? So I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. I mean, I'm not scared. I mean, it's like I'm not scared of it, you know? So it's all right. I don't care. Ryan? Sabrina! Ryan, everyone thinks you're talking about them. And sometimes I am. If you got a storage unit, I mean, I'm not thinking about you directly, but I mean, I'm talking about everyone with a storage unit. So you said, well, I got an overweight wife. Are you talking about my wife? Well, not really, but is she overweight? I mean, guys, I'm a little bit overweight right now. I saw a girl, no, she knew me. She goes, did you gain weight? And I don't want to say something to her, but that was nice. So, you know, it's part of being public, man. That's why everyone wants a super chat, but no one wants to share their private life. Guys, I paid the price, okay? So I'm grateful, but I want to tell you guys, you pay the price, okay? Everyone, yeah, it's true though. Pretty unfair. Well, it's a little bit fair because sometimes I am, but I don't mean it hurtfully. But I tell you guys, I masturbate in the sock. I tell you about my family. This is a real channel. I never say people's name, okay? I never call out people's name unless they blast me. I called out one person, they blasted me. I got blasted. But outside of that, guys, I got to share my life. I'm like Prodigy writing a book. Like, you know what I mean? People get mad because I tell a story about what happened in the club. But guys, it happened, my perspective. There's other perspectives than mine. Like, two people can go through the same story, and I got a perspective, they got a perspective. That's fair. But, you know, that's the tough part about being a YouTuber. You're never going to have friends. I thought about that today. I'm never going to have friends again. I don't care because I kind of like already been a loner. But there's no way, in my opinion, that you're going to have a YouTube channel like this, at least. I'll probably never have friends again. Why? Because, like, if something happens in real life, I'm going to eventually probably talk about it on YouTube. And then they're going to say, oh, fuck, why you throwing my shit? I said, well, I didn't say your name. What was that movie like where they were all groomsmen and the guy wrote a book, The Wood or something. Remember The Wood? The guy wrote the book and it's, oh, you talking, you know, and then he fought the guy Chestnut. What I can tell you is this guy. Everyone thinks I'm talking about them. What am I going to do? Sabrina. Hey, Sam. Good to see you, Sabrina, and everyone. I love you. I was just going to ask you about your mom. I call her every day. I text her. I gift her. I pray and hope she decides to come your way eventually. I'm going to keep the hope alive. Thank you, Sabrina. How are you? Whoever is giving thumbs down sucks to hell. No, pretty much. I appreciate you and others. Well, Sabrina, I give you credit because you're one of my first Jesse O was my first member, but you're one of my longest members because I look at analytics spread, show me the longest members. Tony too. All you guys are very thankful. But I know you're one of the first, Sabrina. And I know, like, I don't know, I give you credit, but I want to give you freedom too. That again, if there comes a time where you don't want to, be part of the channel, I totally understand. But I'm just grateful. And I appreciate your support. And I do get more support than I get hate. So really, I got more than 40 haters. I got, and really there's only one hater with 40 profiles or it's like 5 haters. Okay. So, but it's just that most people don't click the thumbs up, including me, which I don't care to me because thumbs up, I'd rather people join the channel or super chat. Thumbs up. Hey guys, they tell you like it helps the algorithm. But I do a video, for 1 million views, you get $1,000. 1 million views, you get $1,000, $1,000 to $3,000. Okay. So guys, you gotta get a lot of views to get ad revenue. Ad revenue is a small percentage of a small person's channel. Okay. Now, if you're like a huge YouTuber where you get hundreds of thousands of views per video, that all adds up. But guys, I'm the Rocky of YouTube. Okay. Every night I'm going against Apollo Creed, guys. I'm going to the last round. I'm Roy Jones against Tyson, and I'm trying to get a couple in. Okay. I'm just trying to make a little extra on the side. Okay. And it's not easy. Okay. It's not easy. You got to work a lot. A lot of people say, yeah, I want to do it. Where's Bland? Bland was doing videos every day about energy drink. He's gone. But I understand why, because he's young. So was Juicy Jeff. Now he's called Disciplined Skater. He's young. He left. ESP, she still uploads a video once in a while. Last video was nice. So, internally inspired, that guy, he's fucking up. He's like, he reminds me now of Bradley Cooper in Limitless. He got off depression drugs, and now he's organized. He's doing all types of videos. I said, damn, this guy's on fire, man. We're in the 5th dimension. What's the 5th dimension? The 5th dimension is when you're in an all-night gas station, okay? And, someone walking by is just deep-throating a dildo. Why? You're in the 5th dimension. Guys, there's no explaining an all-night gas station. All right. Thank you very much, Sabrina. Upscout. Somebody brought, Dunkin' Donuts into work. Coffee tastes like urine. It's mud water, in my opinion. Now, Redman had a good album called Muddy Waters, if you were still smoking weed. That was a good album back in the day. But what I can tell you is this, guys. I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. You know that. Good job. Ryan, Upscout. Yeah, you don't bring up the Dunkin' Donuts. I try to be positive. Try not to go negative. Right? But how do you know what urine tastes like? Well, guys, I drank urine. How? Not because I'm Mark Kelly. When I first was doing the nomad life, I had my pee jug right at the bottom of the thing, and I thought it was my water jug, and I took a sip. I ain't gonna lie about it. Okay. So I drank my own pee, just a little sip. And what I can tell you is, guys, if you never drank out of your own pee jug, you never lived a nomad life. Okay. You're in an Airbnb. You're taking a shit on a marble toilet bowl. You're watching me on your phone. You ain't gonna wipe your hands, and you're scared of the second strand. I knew a guy, every time he go to the bathroom, never wipe his hands. Okay? And this was before the coronavirus. Okay? So what I can tell you is, guys, there's a lot of new strands coming, a lot. Okay? Because there's a lot of dookie out there, man. A lot. Okay? And no one's wiping their hands. Okay? I hate to tell you. Okay? And you say, well, women tend to be more cleaner. Hey, guys, look, what I can tell you is this. If you think a woman don't finger herself a little bit just to smell the coochie, you never dated a woman. If you never saw her period stain underwear, you never realized they're leaking out fluid too. Okay, they just got a different way to do it. Okay, so what I can tell you is this, guys: whether you got urine stains, period stains, or dookie stains, okay, guys, we're in the 5th dimension. Okay? We're in the 5th dimension. All right, let's take a hydration break. All right. Yeah. Kathy's laughing. Ryan's laughing. Good. I'm still laughing. Good. Good job. All right, guys. I did the best I could, man. I won another 12 rounds with Apollo Creed, man. That wasn't easy. Okay. So, which Rocky am I? Am I the young Rocky jogging around Philadelphia, Nah, that was me about 10 years ago. Am I Rocky 2? Who going against a Russian guy? Nah, that's probably me about 5 years ago. I'm about Rocky 5 or 7. Okay. I'm like, where he's telling his kid, it's not how many times you can, it's not how hard you can hit, but how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's not how many thumbs up you get, it's how many thumbs down you can take and keep uploading. And that's what I tell you. So what I can tell you is this, guys. Keep showing up. Why? What else you gonna do? Okay. Better to show up than to roll over in your bed. Peace. Thank you.